Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to try and record an empties for the end of 2017 really, because I wanted to upload today to try and keep it reasonably regular. I had a lot of feedback from my first video the other day, which was the new Chanel makeup collection, and it seemed a lot of people had problems with the audio and found it very difficult to hear me, although when I played back on not just this device but a computer and my iPhone, it sounded absolutely fine to me. And there was feedback from other people, I think mainly also on other Apple devices, who also said they didn't have a problem hearing me. So I'm not quite sure what the problem is. It's quite difficult to fix when I can't identify it myself. So I'm really grateful for your feedback. If you are continuing to have problems hearing me, please let me know. It would assist me to know if you are watching on an Apple device or something else, so I can try and work out what the problem is and why it sounds okay to me and some people but not to others. So sorry about that, but let's see how we get on today with the empties. And a lot of them are old familiars. I wanted to talk particularly about a foundation that I finally finished up. I have so many foundations on rotation at any one time. It does take me a while to finish up any, but I'm getting towards the end of quite a few. I finished a few at the end of the year, and they included this one, Les Beige, from Chanel. This is the Healthy Glow foundation, and it's an SPF 25. I had it in, I think, the lightest shade that you could get over here, number 20. I don't know if they do a number 10 or did a number 10. Anyway, it was pretty perfect for me in the summer. A smidgen perhaps too dark in the winter when I'm very pale, but you can sheer this one out. It's not a heavy full coverage, it's a light coverage, I would say, but it does do what it says on the tin. It definitely gives a bit of a glow. So it's quite a natural coverage that gives a little bit of evening out of skin tone and redness and light imperfections. It won't by any means cover everything, but your skin still will look like your skin. And I think it's really good for, I would say, older, drier skins, and those who like, you know, a slightly glowy complexion. Definitely does that trick. It's not cheap. I think it's about £35 was when I bought it. Still available at Chanel. I do recommend it. Of similar foundations, I think the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation is very similar to this. Slightly less glowy, but very similar coverage, I would say. Maybe marginally cheaper. This one, Les Beige, has the characteristic Chanel smell, which I quite like, but if you don't like fragrances, you won't like it. But otherwise, I would marginally prefer this one over the Charlotte Tilbury, even though it's a smidgen dearer. I don't love it as much as their cushion version of this, which I think is absolutely superb, but it's the same range. I do love the Les Beige range. I just think it's a very chic, sophisticated range. Here's another favourite, Charlotte, Sunday Riley Good Jeans. This is raved about on YouTube and elsewhere, I think with good reason. I'm sure there are exfoliating products out there which are cheaper. Well, I know there are, and I know people like Paula says that, you know, this doesn't really have anything to justify the price point, but it sells well for a reason, and that's not just advertising, because although they get a lot of coverage on YouTube and professional bloggers, other than that, I don't think Sunday Riley advertises very heavily, and they sell well. This is one of the best products out of the range. I do overall actually rate the Sunday Riley range quite highly. There's only one product that I haven't liked, and that's the Lunar Oil, which people rave about. I don't get on with it, but I love most of the I love all of the cleansers and the moisturisers insofar as I've tried them. I'm going to be talking about the new, well, I'm going to say newish C range quite soon when I finish testing it out. But Good Genes is an old favourite. I didn't tell you what it was, of course. It's effectively a high performance exfoliator, AHAs, and you definitely look more radiant in the morning after use of this. Remember to wear your sunscreen. An old favourite, Aromatherapy Associates. What have I got here? This is the Deep Relax, which is my all-time favourite of these oils. I'm not that keen on oils on the face, but I love them in the bath. I'm lucky enough to have a cleaner, so I don't have to scrub the bath after I've had a few oily ones. That's the only disadvantage to oils in the bath, I think. Much more moisturising and relaxing and generally indulgent. And I do feel this one is, you know, just does the trick. I feel relaxed after I've used it. I can't justify the price though. They're about £40 now. Seems like only yesterday they were about £27. But I tend to buy them from Cult Beauty or Space NK or those sorts of sites when they've got a minimum spend offer, and a couple of those usually gets me up to my minimum spend, and I just store them and use them as and when. I don't know why my hand's so shaky today. I do have essential tremor. It's nothing to worry about, but or so the doctor tells me, but it's not great in videos. So Liz Earle Cleanse and Polish. I think I talked about the special edition of this quite recently. I can't remember. Maybe it was the summer in the favourites. I kind of got back into this. My mum loves it. She's in her 80s, bless her, and doesn't really like fancy skincare or face care products, but she does like the Liz Earle range. And so when I was buying for, I think, a birthday or some sort of present, there was an add-on and I tried it again. I used to use this years and years ago. I don't love it as much as the Sunday Riley Ceramic Slip, for example, and the oil cleanser of hers, which I'm using at the moment. But it is a really good, moderately priced option. It's not drugstore price, but it's quite reasonable as well. This was effectively a trial size of 50ml, which I used travelling, and it was sweet orange and mint. Really gorgeous fragrance. I do prefer the kind of seasonal fragrances to their normal one and try to pick up those. I finally used up a moisturiser. I'm very bad about body moisturisers. I'm great about remembering to moisturise my face, but my body skin is definitely drying out now post-menopause, and I should be more careful about moisturising. Anyway, Victoria's Secrets, there's nothing magical about them. The smells are a bit generic, but, you know, they're okay. The old Mitchum's 48 Hour, my deodorant of choice. You know I love those. 2 bottles of those got through. Here's another aerosol while we're damaging the planet together. This is the Chlorane dry shampoo. I have mixed views about dry shampoo. I try not to use them. I don't texturize my hair a lot. My hair is quite dry now, so it can go for quite a few days without washing. But if I do want to preserve a blow dry an extra day or so, I like the Chlorane one better than any of the others, partly to do with the smell. A lot of these dry shampoos have horrible smells, whereas this one really didn't. This is one with oat milk. It was very nice. Not quite as ridiculously expensive either as some of the other ranges. Here's a makeup item that I'm having to throw unused. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to pull out to read this because I haven't got my glasses on. This is the Becca Beach Tint. When I bought it, it was more kind of swirly between the pink and the gold. It's a really pretty item. It's not showing up terribly well in this light, but a very natural goldeny cream blush. Doesn't last brilliantly, but I really liked it in the summer, and I liked having this in my handbag just to kind of touch up my blush on the go. But it really has started you can see a bit of pigmentation there. It started to dry out now, so I'm having to sling it even though it's not finished. I got the chance to try the Chanel Sublimage La Crème. This is Chanel's ridiculously expensive moisturising skincare range. It's a really beautiful cream. It smells divine. Again, it's the kind of Chanel smell, only on steroids. A really, really emollient cream. Is it that much more emollient than something like Embryolisse? I'm not sure that it is. And I can't say my skin, after the kind of 2.5, 3 treatments I got out of this tube, looked any the better. So it's really lovely. I guess if I had pots of money, I might go for it. Although the fact that it comes usually in a jar when it's not a sample tube would put me off. As you know, I have a thing about hygiene issues around screw-top jars of creams that we're dipping our fingers in or exposing to the air. I did want to mention these samples I had. Dream Skin 1 Minute Mask from Dior. I had a couple of these. This is in the advanced serum after the mask. And I do like masks. I really did like this product. I wouldn't go so far as to say I'm wholeheartedly recommending it at the moment, because I say I only had 2 to try, and I think I'd need to actually buy it and try a few more, but it was very promising insofar as it went. Anything else? Yeah, a Jo Malone fragrance sample in Pomegranate Noir. Very herby fragrance to me rather than fruity. I don't know if my smell was going off somewhat before Christmas, but that's how I judged it. Slightly masculine, actually. I liked it, but not enough to buy it, not enough to give you a full review, although I will be hoping to talk about Tom Ford's somewhat controversial, I'm going to say new release, new over here in the UK, came out in September of last year at Fashion Week in New York. So you know the one I'm talking about if you're a Tom Ford fan. I've got it, I've been wearing it. I'm going to talk about it on Friday. Until then, bye for now.